Hey everybody, I wanted to share this video with you of this epic day of bass fishing I had on Cayuga Lake in upstate New York in mid-June. It was wacky worm fishing, which I don't normally do or haven't done a lot until now. I'll be honest with you, I'm completely sold on it now. In my opinion, it's kind of a goofy way to fish. It's kind of like fishing with bait, but you're fishing with a strip of plastic. You cast it out there, and if you watch the line right here, the bass grabs it and he runs with it, and you just set the hook. I'm fishing in a very shallow area. It's probably 3-4 foot deep, and the water wasn't really clear in this spot. These bass they're on their beds or just getting ready to. In this video I catch about 9 bass. I mean, I didn't really have to cast very far. I was in there being real quiet, but the key to catching these bass is when you drop that worm in there. If they don't hit it within the first 30 seconds, pull it up and cast in another spot. The key to it is that fall. As soon as it hits the water and it drifts softly to the bottom, that's what gets their attention. I have to imagine a few of the fish that I caught, maybe they were staring at it for a while. Maybe it was resting on the bottom. There you can see the bottom of the lake right there. You can see how shallow it is in that shot. Maybe they stare at it, maybe sniff it a little bit, pick it up and run with it. You can't really tell, but I'm fishing the weed beds. Maybe you can't tell in this shot right here, but I cast right to the edge of some weeds. There were patches of weeds and patches of clearing. You definitely cast into the clearing, right up against the weeds, and the bass were all up in there. This was happening all over the lake. This is Cayuga Lake, upstate New York. It's one of the Finger Lakes. Anywhere there was shallow coves, anywhere from 10 feet to a couple feet, these bass were in here. One of the reasons I was doing so well in this spot, big bass boats, they couldn't get in here. It was way too shallow for them. Perfect for a kayak. I really felt like these fish hadn't been caught that much. I had fished a few other areas. It was obvious that some of them had been caught before. You can kind of see the weeds in this water right here. Oh yeah, up above is some carp. It's one of the reasons it was kind of muddy up there. The carp thrash. I guess the males corner a female. They get a couple of them and they thrash around. I was watching them and didn't realize I got bit. Well, it didn't happen on this trip. If you just left the worm and let the bass take it, they will start to eat on it, and could get in the danger of hooking their gullet. These were all really nice fish this day. Bunch of 2-pounders, a couple 3-pounders, and I got one that was 20 inches. It was about probably 4 pounds. Barely hooked, but just enough. Watch the line. Here you go. I can kind of tell it's getting pulled a little bit, so I tighten it up a little bit, and then I can feel the tug. Sometimes I put my finger on the line just to feel it, and then yank. So these are really fine, small hooks that I'm using. And sometimes the hook would come out real easy on these fish. Always try to take photos and a slow-mo video, just as kind of a record as to how I did that day. When I download these to my computer, it tells me when and where, and I could always go back years later and kind of figure out what the conditions were that day if I ever wanted to look it up. It's kind of like a fishing log, but I'm too lazy to actually keep a fishing log. But yeah, I cast right up against this clump of weeds. Yep, there's a bass under there. Big one. God, this one's fighting hard. Yeah, it's a big one. The fish of the day. Gotcha. Woo! Where'd you get you? Oh, barely hooked. It's pretty amazing. Woo! Let's get that for the camera. I think we got a 20-incher maybe. Yeah, definitely might be the fish of the week. You know what you get? Slow-mo video. Here's the biggest fish so far. That was the best slow-mo of the whole day. Too much fun. This was just a log floating in the water, cast up right against it. Seemed like a good place to cast. And it was. He's taking it. Set the hook. I don't know if you could see back there, but looked like there was a second fish following him. There was a couple times that week that I did see a second fish. You'd catch one and you'd have another one trying to steal it. Makes me think that they weren't spawning just yet, that they were in a bit of a pre-spawn phase. Or maybe it was just that competitive. But that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you had as much fun watching as I did fishing. Take care.